Would you know what to do if someone you loved collapsed from sudden cardiac arrest? If their heart stopped, would you know how to perform CPR? Each year, more than 350,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests happen in the U.S. 90% of those people die. But listen to this. If CPR is performed, especially in the first few minutes, the American Heart Association says it can double, even triple the chances a person will survive. Now I want to introduce you to one family that knows the importance of CPR firsthand. Daniel and Jonathan Tyshler were on vacation with their grandfather, Boris, in California last August, and you can see them there. On the way to the airport to catch a flight back to Seattle, Boris collapsed at the wheel. The family swerved across several lanes of traffic before finally coming to a stop. Boris's heart had stopped, and that is when the boys jumped into action, performing CPR until paramedics got there. They saved their grandfather's life. It is just that simple. Daniel and Jonathan are here now to talk to us about that day. Thank you guys so much for being here and sharing your story. I know that must have been a very scary day. Jonathan, let me start with you. What was going through your mind when your grandfather passed out at the wheel?
Well, the first thing that went through my mind was I was extremely scared. I didn't see the moment when he passed out, but the next thing I knew was I was sitting in the car talking with my grandpa about playing chess when we got to the airport, and suddenly the car swerved across the freeway. So the main feeling that I was feeling was fear.
Fear. Anybody would be fearful, especially knowing that it's one of your loved ones. Daniel, how did you know to do CPR? How did that come about?
Well, I remembered what I had learned in health class the previous semester. So we got him out of the car, we laid him out onto the ground, my brother lowered his head, and then I started doing chest compressions, and I did 2 breaths.
So walk us through exactly what you were doing in that moment.
So first I was sitting in the back seat, and I saw that, I didn't really see it, I just felt our car swerving. And then I sort of looked up, and we were perpendicular to the rest of the traffic, and we moved into the brush. And so after that, I thought, well, obviously he's not responding, so we should probably call 911. And I was really shocked and scared. So
was it difficult to know what to do? I mean, you'd been through a class, but then to have your grandfather there and have to actually do it, that's hard for adults to do, and you're 13.
Yeah, it was really scary. I just remember hoping that I was doing the right thing, like doing the compressions with the right timing and doing the breaths right.
It was scary for you. Was it scary for you too, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you thinking when your brother was doing that?
Well, I didn't really notice it at the time, but afterwards, I feel really proud, and I'm happy that he was there to help.
Yeah. What did doctors tell you about what you did that day and how it helped your grandfather?
Well, they said that the CPR right after it happens is definitely very critical to survival. So I'm really glad that it happened the way it did.
Yeah, you guys have been called heroes, which you certainly are. I can't find anybody who would disagree with that. And you got a special award for that. And you also were able to ride in the Rose Parade in California. So I think we have an image of that we want to show folks at home. One, do you think that you're heroes? What do you think about that, being called that?
Well, I think that a lot of kids would have done the same thing in our situation. I'm definitely really glad that I did the right thing. And I'm grateful that my grandpa was recovered afterwards.
Yeah, well, we are so glad to honor you. Jonathan, what do you want other kids to know about CPR and the fact that it can save a life?
Well, from experience, I know it could save a life, so I hope that everyone who has the opportunity will learn to do that.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys been through certification?
Not yet.
So it's just basically you learned in school what to do, and it worked?
Yeah.
So what do you, as far as questions from other kids, do other kids say, tell me about what happened, what did you do? Did they have questions?
Yeah, well, they said I heard about what you did, and they ask how it felt, and we just tell them that we were scared, but we were glad we knew what we did.
Yeah, you guys are both so brave. I don't want to let you go without asking about how your grandpa's doing now.
He's 100% recovered. Just recently, the doctor said that he could start driving again, so he's happy, and so are we. So.
And we are very happy, too.
You absolutely, we're all happy. And he got a pacemaker, is that right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, have you been back to see your grandpa since all this happened?
Yeah, he actually also lives in Seattle with us, and We saw him a couple days ago at dinner, actually.
Yeah, well, way to go, you guys. CPR saves a life. I'm so glad you're here to share that message. I'm so glad that your grandfather's doing good. Give me high fives for all your hard work. Jonathan and Daniel, CPR, it saves a life, guys. Thank you for your time and for being here.